For this week's art lesson, we're going to be drawing some surreally silly sandwiches. Our drawings are going to be based on a style of art known as surrealism. In surrealist art, artists take imaginary objects and realistic objects and put them together to create a fantasy drawing. So what we're going to do for our surrealist silly sandwiches is we're going to take some real sandwich ingredients like lettuce and cheese and lunch meat and combine that with fantasy ingredients like a whole fish or a slice of pizza or a tube of paint and mix and match them together to create a silly sandwich that's from our own imagination. You guys get to choose if you want to make your sandwich on a bun or if you would like to make it with a piece of bread. I will show you how to make both. And then you get to, of course, brainstorm as many different fun and crazy ingredients to stack up in your sandwich as you like. What you need for this project is a piece of paper, white paper for drawing, any size will do. You need a pencil to draw, an eraser in case you make a mistake. If you would like to outline your drawing before you color, you need a black marker of some sort. And for coloring, just some simple crayons and markers are perfectly fine. If you'd like to try some colored pencils, that's up to you. So let's grab our materials and get ready to draw our surreally silly sandwiches. Now before we begin drawing, you're going to want to take your white piece of paper and turn it vertical, straight up and down. You definitely want your paper to be vertical for this drawing because you want to make a nice tall sandwich that you can stack up lots of ingredients inside. And in order to do that, you need the space from a vertical piece of paper. Now I'm going to show you how to start your drawing if you want to make it a bun for your sandwich or if you want to make it a slice of bread for your sandwich. I'm going to do the bun first, and then I'll take another piece of paper and show you how to make the slice of bread. So if you're not sure if you want to do the bun or the bread, you might just want to watch the video for a second to see how I draw both of them and then stop it and you can make your choice and draw on your own. So if you're going to make the bun, you're going to start towards the top of your page, and I want to get pretty close to the top because I want to have lots of room for ingredients in my sandwich. And I'm going to start by making a curved arched line from one side to the next. That's the top of my bun. To make the bottom of the bun, I'm going to simply curve to connect the two across. Now it depends on what kind of bun you want to make. I'm going to make a sesame seed bun, so I'm going to go back and make some little ovals for sesame seeds. If you don't want that, you could just leave it the way it was. I'm going to leave the middle completely open, go to the bottom of my page, and now I'm going to make the bottom part of the bun. So I'm going to make two lines. One, try to match them up as best as you can with the edge of the bun. Remember, you can always take your finger to measure. Two, for the edges, connect across. Again, a little bit of a curve and a little bit of a line for the bottom. Okay. That gives me the top of the bun and the bottom of the bun and plenty of room to fill it with ingredients. Now, if I want to do a slice of bread instead, what I would do is take my paper, same way, vertical, straight up and down, but instead of starting with a curved shape, I'm going to make more of a rectangular shape so that it looks like a slice of bread. So I'm going to go towards the top of my paper, and I'm going to start with a straight line this time across. I'm going to make an angled line, shorter and straight. 1, 2. I'm going to make a curved edge for the slice of bread once and twice, so it's a little bit thicker. And then I'll just connect it for the edge of the bread so it looks a little 3D, like a thicker slice. I could leave it the way it is if you want to make like a little toothpick holding the sandwich together. Make like a little stick. Sometimes when you order a sandwich like at a deli, it has that little toothpick in the bread so that it all stays together and doesn't fall apart when you get it. It's up to you. Once I have the top of the bread done, I'm going to use my finger to kind of measure. Start here so that it matches with the edge. And then, since it's a slice of bread, I'm gonna make a straight line, straight edges, and a straight bottom for the bread. So there you have it. You've got a slice of bread for the top and a slice of bread for the bottom. So you choose if you want a bun or bread for your sandwich. Once you have your bread done, now you get to do the fun part of coming up with the ingredients to fill in your sandwich and stacking them up from the top all the way to the bottom. So before you begin, you're going to want to brainstorm a little bit. You have to have at least 4 real ingredients for your sandwich and at least 4 fantasy ingredients for your sandwich. So you may want to think, what are the 4 real ingredients that you want first? Because the fantasy part is super fun because you really don't have any restrictions. You can get as creative as you like. You could put, I don't know, a car in your sandwich if you wanted to because it's from your own imagination. So you may want to think of what are your 4 real ingredients that you want before you even start anything else, just so you have your ideas ready. So maybe you know that you want to make lettuce. Maybe you know you want to make tomato slices or pickles or Swiss cheese or some other type of cheese. Maybe you like a ham sandwich or salami or pepperoni, or maybe you want to do peanut butter and jelly as your favorite sandwich. It's up to you. You should pick your 4 real ingredients first. That way you know what they're going to be before you start to get real creative with all of your fantasy ideas. If you wanted to, you could even take your piece of paper and you can flip it over and you can do a little bit of brainstorming on the back and maybe use your pencil to write down what you want your real ingredients to be and your fantasy ingredients to be, so you at least have a place to get started. Now I say 4 and 4, that's the starting point. If you have room to put more than 4 real ingredients and 4 fantasy ingredients, you could put as many as you like. It's up to you. Once you have your ideas thought of or written down, your little brainstorming, then you can start to stack them all together. So I'll show you an example of how you can stack your ingredients. I brainstormed what I wanted in my sandwich, especially my realistic ingredients, and I decided that I wanted lettuce, onions, cheese, some tomato slices, and then some ham or slices of lunch meat. And then after I had my realistic ingredients, I knew I can stack them up by spreading them out throughout my sandwich, and in between I could put my fantasy ingredients. So I have a popsicle and an ice cream cone and a paintbrush and a glue bottle and some stacked up crayons on the bottom. And all you need to do is mix and match them as you draw. So for every real ingredient, you put a couple fantasy ingredients, and so forth and so on until you fill up your entire sandwich from top to bottom. Notice when you finish one ingredient, you make the next one right underneath it, trying your best not to leave so much space in between. And you're overlapping, so if you happen to hit something when you draw, you just simply pick up where you leave off and continue the rest of your picture. You could stack everything up across horizontally, or if you want to make some things in your sandwich vertical to fill in the space, you can do that too. The best part about a surrealist drawing is that there's so much fantasy aspects of it that you can get as creative as you want, and you really can't be wrong. Now, I picked things like art supplies for my food for my fantasy ingredients that you normally wouldn't see in a sandwich, but you could be as funny as you want. Maybe you wanted to put like a cat or a dog or SpongeBob. It's up to you. There's some examples on the PowerPoint that's attached to our assignment, lots of student examples that you can use for ideas if you're having a hard time coming up with your own ingredients. Once you have everything drawn, and take your time with your drawing, if you like to outline with a black marker before you color, of course you can, but I would suggest that before you do any coloring or any outlining, that you add a line for the table behind your drawing. So I'm going to go up a little bit, and I'm going to make a straight line, stop when I hit my sandwich, and pick up on the other side. By going up a little bit further from the bottom, it looks like my sandwich is sitting on the table. If I want to, I could leave it the way it is, or I can make a couple of curved lines underneath my sandwich to make it look like it's on a plate. I could even make a design if I wanted it to be a tablecloth, or I could just color it brown to look like a wooden table. And if I had space, I could even add some details if I wanted to the background. I only have a little bit of room, but maybe you want to add a drink to go along with your sandwich. So maybe you make like a cylinder for a cup. Gonna add a straw. It's up to you, and it depends on how much space you have. You could even put like condiments like ketchup or mustard. You can make a napkin. Maybe you want fries to go with your sandwich. You can make some fries in a container or on a plate on the side. It's your choice. Once you have everything drawn, if you outline, that's up to you. If not, you can color it in. Markers and crayons work perfectly fine for this project. If you want some colored pencils, that's fine too. I just use markers and crayons for mine. Here's my sandwich with some glue and crayon box. This one has a drink I paid on the side too. And here's one. Maybe I made some mustard, some condiments, put a whole fish in it. Right? Cupcake, pizza, paint. Can't go wrong with the fantasy part. So remember, it's 4 realistic ingredients and at least 4 fantasy ingredients. Mix and match, stack them up, and create your own silly sandwich. Take your time with your drawing, color completely and neatly, and I can't wait to see what they look like when they're done. Good luck, artists.